I completely malfunctioned here, and I realized that I'm losing. Like I realize this position is completely losing. This is round 2 of a local event here in central Pennsylvania. And in this round, I played against a national master. He used to be over 2,200, but now in recent years, he has fallen below 2,200. I assume chess is not his main focus. But yeah, I play against national master, and this is a really, really interesting game. And I'm really glad I had the opportunity to play it. And he played the Alekhines against me. Knight f6 against e4, allowing me to take the center, and I like to play the 4 pawns attack. I put all the pawns in the center, the pawn tsunami, as I like to call it, and yeah, it's just like, you want to give me the center, I'll take the whole center. But the hard part about it is that it's really, you have to really know what you're doing, or else you're going to get into some bad news bears very, very quickly. And that's actually what happened to me. And I think Ilya, my opponent, I think he likes to use it because, one, I don't think many players are as prepared against the Alekhines as they are against other openings. And two, it's very fighting. It's very fighting, very exciting. And he's told me after the game that, like, he doesn't really play it that much, you know, but he's confident enough to use it against the lower rated people like me. So it's very, very interesting. And yeah, like, this is how a master uses the Alekhines defense. So he trades in the center and then plays knight c6, attacking this pawn. Of course, I can't push because then the e pawn would be hanging. So the really hard part about the Alekhines is that you have to hold on to everything and not overextend. But I also know in the Alekhines, it's totally fine to potentially give up a pawn or two if you have, a big attack brewing. Like, if there's some compensation sometimes if you give up a pawn in the center. So I know that sometimes is the case. Like, sometimes if you have a bunch more space, if you can keep your space but lose a pawn, then that might be okay in some scenarios. But it's very, very tricky. So he attacks my pawn, and I do not play knight f3. If I did do that, then bishop g4 would be pretty annoying, because now if I play bishop e2, he could take and take the pawn, and I'm just down a pawn. Or he could take like this too. Oh wait, no, this doesn't work because this comes with check. Actually, yeah, I wonder I guess if he does this, then there's this as well. So I guess it's not so easy for him. But I assume he wouldn't take immediately. Maybe he might play queen d2 or queen d7 first. Maybe he play e6 first. He probably wouldn't take my knight until I provoked him to take my knight. But usually in the Alekhines defense, you don't want to give black super easy moves like bishop g4 for free. So I play a bishop e3 first, not committing my knight, waiting for him to commit his bishop first to f5, and now I bring my knights out. I do knight c3 first, and then knight f3. I don't think it really matters that much. And he plays queen d7. Queen d7 suggests that, he's going to castle queenside, and this is a really, really cool variation. I might have had this in an online game or two. I don't quite remember, but I've never had this over the board. And yeah, we just castle opposite sides, just like that. And it's very, very tricky. All I know about it is that it's pretty tricky. And now he plays bishop g4. So now, like, he's poking and prodding and trying to take advantage of this extended center. And it's very, very tricky. And I know against bishop g4, oftentimes c5 is a good move. It's really restricts black's position. But in return, black has this white has a huge hole on d5 that black can occupy. So he plays knight d5, attacking my knight, attacking my bishop. Maybe I could get away with a move like bishop d2. This might be totally fine. Although in this case, the d4 pawn looks like it's hanging, so probably not fine. Maybe instead of that, maybe I can go bishop f2. So now if bishop takes, then everything's guarded. That might be an option. It definitely feels a bit passive to go back like this. So I just take. I take on d5. He takes on d5. And I think here for about 10 minutes. And it's a game in 40 game. So it's like there's 40 minutes per side. And I have 34 minutes. And I think for 10 minutes, and I'm down to 25 minutes now. And yeah, because I was already trying to remember what I know about this position. And I was struggling to remember it. And I was just trying to find good moves. And I had two candidate moves. One was b4. Sacrificing a pawn. So if he takes, maybe I go rook b1, but maybe not. I thought rook b1 would be interesting. He could go back, but I was like how? Like I don't have this square because of the knight guards that. Maybe I have queen b5. Maybe I can go queen c2 and queen b2. But I wasn't convinced. I wasn't convinced about this at all. And I thought like maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I'm not sure. Looking at it now, I think I would play this move. If I could play this game again, I think I would play b4. With the idea that if he takes, I go rook b1. Maybe it's not so bad. I'd really be interested to see what would happen in this game compared to what happened in the actual game. And I wonder if he would ever take this pawn. Like, that feels way too greedy. Like, it's got to be way too greedy, right? Because the knight's just getting trapped. I'm going to go rook b2 next and trap the knight. So it can't be good. Or maybe even bishop c4 next. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. So maybe I should have played b4. So then, yeah. So if f6, now I can meet it with b5. And maybe this is good for me. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I'm not too sure. He told me after the game that knight g5 is actually a good move. He said, this is where he told me after the game that like, oh, I haven't really played these positions before, but I remember knight g5 is sometimes a move. I was like, oh, okay, it's interesting. So I'm threatening in a fork, and let's say he takes, and how are you defending this? Let's say you go rook d7, and the game continues from here. Probably maybe rook a d1 or rook f d1. Actually, no. I can still take this pawn. But now things are getting liquidated. Like, I think he could just do this. And then the c5 pawn is dropping. And the e5 pawn is dropping. But, like, maybe it's fine. I use my knight to guard. Like, yeah, maybe this is fine. I'm not sure. Oh, wait, my queen's hanging. My queen's hanging. That's not good. Yeah, so everything feels really, really flimsy. So I think if I could play this game again, I think I would play b4. I'm gonna turn the engine on just for this 1 second, just to see what the best move is here, and yeah, b4 is the best move. Oh my gosh, man, that's heartbreaking for me. But here I thought for 10 minutes, I'm gonna turn off the engine now. I thought for 10 minutes, and I played queen d2 instead. And now he plays f6. And one of the ideas that I was aware of, but I think it's in a slightly different position. I couldn't remember. Bear with me for a second. But imagine a scenario where he did king b8. Like he wasted a tempo with king b8 or something like that. Then b4, and if he tries to play f6 now b5, and this position is really great for me. This position is really great for me. Or imagine like rook a d1, f6, b4 takes, and here, now if he takes this d4 pawn, then I can take, and I open attack on his bishop, and if he takes, then I can take, and everything is guarded, and he has like 2 pawns for the piece, but I'm still up a piece. Actually 3 pawns for the piece, but I have a knight and a bishop. I have an extra knight, and he doesn't. So imagine a scenario like that. Like that's kind of what I was trying to remember. Like I swear I remember a position like that, but it was not this position because he plays f6 now, and like I was already very iffy with myself for spending 10 minutes on the move queen d2, but I spent another 15 minutes. I spent another 15 minutes, and it's a game in 40. So I spent 25 minutes out of 40 on two moves, and yeah, I completely malfunctioned here. Um, and I realized that I'm losing. Like I realize this position is completely losing. If so, remember that earlier position where I showed like rook ad1 and then b4 b5, giving up 3 pawns for the piece. If I try to do that same thing now, where the rook is not on d1, so if takes b5, takes, and then takes, for example, I'm just down 3 pawns, soon to be 3 pawns. And if I take with the knight, then queen takes, bishop takes, and rook takes. And this is not good. This is not good. This is not good at all. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? Like, I thought, okay, maybe knight c3, and then bishop takes, king moves, and maybe my knight can get to e4, and like I'm forking the pieces, and like maybe this is okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. This position is not okay. And I was like, uh-oh. And so I realized that couldn't work. And after 15 minutes, I finally seated. And I realized, okay, well, I'm just going to be down 2 pawns or something like that. And I actually came up with this really neat idea. And if he rushes, this is a really he might blunder the game into drawish territory. So I play rook 81, that's my move. And after he takes, I simply take back. And after he takes my queen, I take, and he takes his pawn. And now he can win a second pawn by taking the bishop. I took back with the g-pawn. So this actually happened in the game. And if he takes here, I was actually super happy with my drawing chances, considering that I completely ruined the position in 2 moves. Like, the position is absolutely ruined. Actually, no, 1 move. Queen d2 was such a bad move. So, but I ruined the whole position. And so, but I was really excited about my drawing chances if he played knight e5, because now bishop c3. And I was like, yeah, if he goes back, for example, I'm just going to take. And yeah, I'm only down 1 pawn. I'm only down 1 pawn. And this e pawn is weak. This h pawn is weak. I have the bishop pair. Like, all is not lost. Like, legitimately, all is not lost. Like, I actually think, like, I can do this. Like, I can hold. I can hold. Like, I can do this. I have a shot. But he's patient. He's very patient. He plays bishop d4. Very good move. Saying, okay, I'm not going to allow you to get bishop c3 at all. And I'm just going to win a pawn with 1 move slower than I otherwise would have. So I'm still only down 1 pawn, but it's soon to be 2. Because this is just a fork. He's attacking both these pawns, and neither of those pawns are defended. I come up with a way to defend my center pawns. I play bishop g5, attacking the rook. He moves it 1 square forward. And I play f4, defending my center, and he takes the b pawn. And I attack his weak e pawn, and he just defends. But now, I come up with an idea, like, okay, like, this bishop is undefended, and this pawn is only defended by the king. So, if I trade rooks and play rook b8, after his bishop moves, just move somewhere, then I can continue to play rook takes b7, and I'm only down 1 pawn. He has this weak e pawn, and my rook is active, but it's hard to exploit my rook's activity on his side of the board. But you know what? At least I get the b pawn back. Hey, at least I get the b pawn back. Let's do it. I don't play that move. I don't play rook takes b7 because it just straight up loses. And I was like, wow, I can't believe I almost did that. I'm gonna play king g2 instead. So yeah, I play king g2 instead. Not taking that b pawn because my rook would be trapped, and that would be bad news bears. Bad news bears. That would not be good. So yeah, I just play king g2. He plays rook f8, which makes a lot of sense. Oh, also, by this position, all the way back here, I stopped notating because I was below 5 minutes. So all this is from memory. So I'm very confident I got all the moves right, but just so you guys know, it's all from memory. And yeah, I play king g2, and he plays rook f8. So he's going to play h6 next, making me move my bishop, and then taking this f pawn. And then after he takes this f pawn, he's going to take this e pawn, and he's going to be up approximately 1 gazillion pawns. He's going to be up so many pawns, he's not even going to know what to do with them. So, but after rook f8, I come up with this neat idea of rook d1, pinning the bishop to the king, and the only defender is this knight. And after h6, if I move my bishop, well, this doesn't look very good. I'm gonna end like I at least lost another pawn, but I played bishop f3 here, and he took my bishop, and I took, and yeah, he's gonna be losing some material because of this pin, of the bishop pin to the king. And I honestly thought he was gonna play rook takes f3. After king takes, then he could take this pawn with check. After my king moves, play knight c6. And I was like, okay, I'm definitely losing. I was like, I'm definitely losing. And but you know, everything's losing at this point, so it's okay. I thought he would go for this. I'm not sure what he didn't like about it. Maybe he just didn't like this pin and a move like h4. But his king should be in time to stop my pawns. So, but maybe he just didn't like how he had to calculate more. I'm not sure what he didn't like about it. But instead of taking the bishop with his rook, he just plays rook f5, attacking both of these pawns. And so now if I go takes, he's going to go check and takes, and he's just up 3 pawns, and life is bad. Life is sad. So I just decided to play h4, just defend my pawn, play it slowly, and he plays g6. Locking down my pawns, preventing me from making further progress, makes a lot of sense. And I decide to cash in. There's no time like the present. I just take the knight, take the bishop, and I'm only down 2 pawns, not 3. And I do have a majority on the king side, and my pawns are pretty advanced already, so maybe I have some hope. But I also have 6 seconds left on the clock, so I don't really have that much time to think about it. I play king up, so now rook e2 doesn't come with a check, and I just play rook f4, and he actually allows me to take his pawns. And this is all the counterplay I could have dreamed for, considering that I messed up super hard. I'm like, okay, I'm only a pawn down, and I'm going to promote while he is going to promote, but he checkmates me first. Spoiler alert. I push, he push, he push, I push, he push, I push. Well, I check first. A little bit of a trap here. If he goes backwards, I win. If he goes backwards. Unfortunately, he's not going to go backwards. He went forward, so he didn't fall for my 1 move trap there, as you would expect him not to. And I push, he push, I push, and he checkmates me. He misses mate in 1. Queen d5 would just simply be checkmate, but it's whatever. Every move wins as long as you don't allow white to give checks. And then here I resign. So yeah, that was game. That was game against the National Master. And let me put it through the game review real quick. Let me turn on the engine here. I want to give you my reaction. Let me give you my reaction to what the engine thinks here. So yeah, I'm very happy. Not very happy. I thought the opening was very interesting. C5, yes, a good move. And yeah, I really, Queen D2. Although it's just 0.00. It's not bad. What move was I supposed to find after what move was it? It was really h3? I thought if h3, then just bishop h5. And E takes, G takes, and rook C1 is the way to continue. But I just thought he would still go E5. Bishop C4. And after the queen moves, we get D5 in. Wow, this is a really good case of how one mistake leads to another. I played Queen D2, and after you played F6, I knew that Queen D2 was a mistake. And I just made another mistake. But no, H3 would have kept me in the game. Also, I knew he had bishop takes C5. I calculated that. I didn't think it was that bad, because I think I was planning to... And I think, what was I planning on doing? I forgot if I was planning to take with the knight or... I think the knight. Because I would take here. Rook D3, though. Oh, okay. That's not a very good move. Interesting. Okay, anyways. I'm going way too ahead of myself. I did calculate bishop C5, but I thought it would be fine. But apparently that's the best move for him there. F6. H3 being a resource there is wild. Of course, if you take, now the bishop attacks the queen with tempo. And after a move like queen D7, for example, rook A D1. And even if you take here, D5. Oh my goodness, yeah, because if pawn takes and this bishop here, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy, man. Oh my gosh. Positions like this is so hard to play for me. I am not good at this game. So queen d2, f6, rook a1, and it's equal. It's back to equal, negative 0.08, so it's equal. And I had to play b4 here. Explain. What? I don't understand, man. Okay, so e takes d4. Knight takes d4. And if you take, everything's guarded. Oh, wait. What? Oh, queen takes. And I'm down a pawn. But if you take this pawn, I'm down 2 and possibly even 3. But knight b5? Or knight f3. Attacking the queen. And this is just winning. The only move is knight d3 to hold on. If you move your queen, well, firstly, this is a fork, but more than that, you can even just take the rook after taking the queen. Oh, I guess if you take the rook, then knight takes. Then king takes knight. Okay, never mind, but you get the point. Wow. I'm supposed to be down a pawn and big chilling. You know what? I even said earlier this video that, like, yeah, if it's okay to give up a pawn if you can maintain your space advantage. In this case, it's very weird. It's like black's extra pawn is this isolated e pawn that's weak, and black is being attacked on the queen side already. Oh man, I mishandled this position so badly. So badly, I just completely malfunctioned. I'm honestly in disbelief with myself. I didn't know it was this bad, as in the way I handled this position. And I didn't realize wow, it goes to show you, how good I am with this stuff. Horrible. Wow. And I completely mishandled his position, and now he's just... Yep, and he's winning, he's winning, he's winning. Yep. And yeah, not much I can do here. And no way. This position is equal? Rook d8 is a drawing idea? And after rook here, rook g8. No way. What? Okay. How is that different? Rook g7 check is how I hold on to the draw, because now rook g8 and b3. I gain time because I force him to defend the pawn. And I just roll my pawns down the board. And this is a draw? This is a draw? How is this a draw? How is this a draw? That's crazy. Clearly a draw, yes. I can't believe it. I'm going to have a breakdown. That's crazy. So if c5, now he's going to be losing because g6 and my pawns get there first. So his drawing idea in his position is to play c6. And after g6, rook a5. And if I push this pawn, I'm going to be losing because of rook b5. Rook b5 and I'm losing. Cutting off. So I have to play king f4 because now rook b5 and g7. Why is it? I don't understand. And if I go here, g7. What's the difference? Oh, the difference is there's a skewer at the end. There's a skewer at the end. And if king f4 instead of this move, well, now after this, it's just gonna be an equal queen ending. Oh my gosh. I had chances. I had chances this game. And I missed it. I blew it. I blew the rook end game. I not only blew the middle game. I blew the end game too. I didn't know I blew it so badly. And yeah, here I'm just clearly losing. The pawn promotes. And yeah, I get mated first. And yeah, that's that. Wow. Okay, well, wow. Okay. I'm gonna need to process that one for a while. That one was tough. Yeah, that one was tough. That one was tough, yeah. Okay. I'm over in the game review. I'll see you guys in the next one.